Hey guys, it's Miss Stevens. Today we're going to be reading a story from our reader Grace. The story is called The Visit, and you can see me at the bottom of the screen now. I'm learning how to do new things every day. Okay, so the story is called The Visit. Before we begin, of course, like always, we're going to go over some sounds, the way to spell those sounds, and we're going to go over some vocabulary words, and then we're going to read the story. All right, so first we have the N sound, spelled K-N. Let's see if you can read these words. This is a word you've seen before. This word is knapsack. Then we have the S sound, spelled C. Nice, good job. Place. That's a tricky one. That word is exercise. If you got that word right, kiss your brain. Then we have some two-syllable words. Frisbee, sunscreen, flip-flops, and we have some three-syllable words. There's that word again, exercise, and our vocabulary words. So, our first vocabulary word is flip-flops. Raise your hand if you love to wear flip-flops. I love to wear flip-flops, especially in the summer. Here you go, baby. Excuse me. So flip-flops are open-toed shoes with two straps across the foot that are usually worn in warm weather. Usually wear them in the spring and summer. I love to wear my flip-flops to the beach in the summer. I've got a bunch of pictures of flip-flops here just in case you didn't know what they are, but I think most of you do. Cove. Now, a cove is a small area of ocean that is partially or partly surrounded by water. So not completely, just partly surrounded by water. That's a cove. For example, we walked to the cove to go fishing. The next vocabulary word is wade. So wade means you walk through shallow water. Shallow water means it's not very deep water. For example, my sister likes to wade in the water by the shore because she does not like the waves. And the last vocabulary word is yelping. Yelping means you make a short, high-pitched noise, a squealing noise. For example, the children were yelping as they jumped in the cold water. So show me how you might yelp. That might aggravate your parents. It's kind of like a squealing noise, like, ee! It's so cold! All right, so here we go. We're reading the story from our reader, Grace. Today we're reading carefully to find out who Grace visits and what she does once she is there. So we go ahead and look at our table of contents right here. We go down, we're looking for the story, The Visit. Here is The Visit. The Visit is found on page 40. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to page 40, which I know you don't have your reader, but you can see I'm on page 40 here. The Visit. Read along with me if you can. The Spencers are on a trip to visit their gran. It's a long car ride from the farm. So where are the Spencers going? Who are they going to visit? They're going to visit their gran. Nice job. Their dad drives in the morning. Then their mom drives after lunch. Grace and Jill feel like the trip will never end. So if Mom drove in the morning and then Dad drove after lunch and they're still driving, is that a long trip? I would think so. That sounds like a really long trip. At last, they get to Gran's place. Grace and Jill run up to their Gran and hug her. And here in the picture, here they are, they're hugging their Gran. Do you think that they're happy to see her? I think so too. Yeah. It's so nice to see you, says Gran. Gran, Jill says, can we run down and swim? After the long car ride, the children need some exercise. So, where do you think they're going to go swim? Maybe in the ocean. That was part of one of our vocabulary words, a cove. We'll see if you're right. Gran smiles. She grabs her knapsack and points to the flip-flops on her feet and says, I'm all set. So if you don't know what I'm all set means, that means she's ready to go. All right. Let's see what happens next. Grace and Jill get dressed for swimming. They rub sunscreen on their arms and legs. Mr. Spencer helps them rub the sunscreen on their backs. Once the sunscreen is on, Grace and Jill run down the path to the cove. So if you predicted they were going to the beach or the cove, kiss your brain. When they get there, they wade in, yelping as the cool waves crash past them. So we have several vocabulary words. So they wade in. That means they walk slowly in the shallow water. You want me to help you? Pause. There you go. Sorry about that. So, they wade in. That means they walk slowly in the shallow water, yelping as the cool waves crash past them. So they're yelping. They're squealing. The water must be what? Probably pretty cold, right? Grace and Jill splash and ride the waves. They dig for crabs and pick up shells. They toss a frisbee back and forth. They munch on snacks and sit in the sun. It's fun to visit with Gran. So, this story kind of had a few settings. Where did the story start off? We started off where? If you said driving in the car, kiss your brain, the story begins with the Spencers on the trip. It's a long car ride and Mom and Dad take turns driving, right? Then where does the story take place second? Where do they arrive? Right, they arrive at Gran's house. And then the third place they go, where the story ends, is at the cove or the beach. So this story today has a lot of settings, 3 different settings for the story today. Who do the Spencers go to visit? If you said Gran, kiss your brain. The Spencers are on a trip to visit their Gran. Here it is, right there in the story. Where do Grace and Jill go with Gran? Where do the girls go? Right, they go to the beach or to the cove. What do the children do at the beach? Very good. They do several things. So let's look at some examples in the story. They splash and ride the waves. They dig for crabs and pick up shells. They toss a frisbee back and forth. They munch on snacks, and they sit in the sun. So right here in the text, we can see several things that Grace and Jill do at the beach. Why do you think the children are putting on sunscreen? Why do they put on sunscreen? Yeah, you're right. It's probably very sunny. You need to protect your skin from the sun. So, if you said they might get a sunburn, kiss your brain. They need to protect themselves from the sun. Okay, so I have an activity for you guys to do. It's in your workbooks. It is activity 15.2. I'm sorry, no, it's 15.3. Sorry. So if you have your workbooks, 15.3 is the activity page, or you can click the link in my video and print the page. So either way, it doesn't matter. If you want to take a picture and send it to me so that I can see, or you can post it to Google Classroom. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.